I ain't letting no old take the life out of me. No, I'm not doing it.
Why?
You want to hoe around in your 20s and your 30s, now you're 50 and you single because you was hoeing around all around town, community dick. Want to get somebody that's younger because they less used. You're used. So you're used up and you want somebody less used up? No, go ahead and get your match.
The look on his face is priceless. He couldn't even argue with her. He was speechless. And instead of defending older men, he said, why? She's waking younger women up and the men do not like it. You have to keep your eyes open when dealing with these men. And I'm talking to myself as well. Look at Deion Sanders' ex-girlfriend. She was with him for 12 years. I was thinking they was together 3-4 years. Look how much time she wasted. And it's not his fault, it's her fault. Like I said last week, if you allow your time to be wasted, it will be wasted. Tracy definitely wasted some precious years with Deion Sanders. I understand he's a Hall of Famer, a football legend, personality, but still, you got to think about yourself too. You matter as well. Now on the screen here is Babyface, singer, songwriter, producer, and the ex-husband of Tracy Edmond. Now in the picture with Babyface is his new wife. What? This isn't his new wife? Who is this? He divorced her in February? Do they have any children, does it say? A baby girl? So while Tracy was with Deion Sanders for those 12 years, Babyface then got married, had a baby, and then got divorced, and now he on to wife number 3. So ladies, do you see how men utilize their time and they don't waste it? You better start doing the same. Now let's get back to Tracy and Deion. Deion's son has a channel here on YouTube, and he does weekly updates of what's going on in Colorado. One particular time I watched it, Tracy and Deion's mother was on there, and they didn't seem to get along too well. But you can see that Tracy was really trying. Now, let me be fair. Maybe Deion's mother wasn't feeling good that day, but it really looked like she was giving Tracy the cold shoulder. I wonder if that contributed to her walking away. Because vibing with the family is important. If you don't get along with nobody in the family, and to him, family is everything, that could be tough. I had a relative that was dating someone for over a year, and she was at every family function. She really vibed with the family, and we was telling him, hey, you should marry her. And he was like, no, I think I'm about to dump her. The sad part was she begged him to marry her. Her mother had already given her a home, and her mother told her, if you get married, I'll give you $50,000. And we looking at him like, you better go get that $50,000. And guess what? He ends up dumping her, and within a year, she got married. And he looked at me like, can you believe she married? Yeah, I can believe it. She half black, half Filipino, beautiful, hair down to her tailbone, in shape, motivated, in school, career. Yeah, I can believe she married. And no other man was going to turn down $50,000. You know how men say, what do you bring to the table? That woman had $50,000 cash on the table and a home worth over $300,000. And my relative said no. And then damn near cried when she got married. I didn't feel bad for him. She begged him for months to marry her, and he kept saying no. That's what he get. That's what happens when you're a pretty boy with too many options. That's my family. I love him, but he fumbled. And now he's out here trying to find somebody just like her, but I keep telling him, the economy we live in today, the parents do not have $50,000 to pass down to their kids while they're still alive. And they don't have a home to pass down. People are out here struggling. Hell, the parents wish they had $50,000 to play with. My relative had a unicorn, and he took it for granted, and he dropped the ball. Anyways, let's get back to Deion and Tracy. Now, let's be real. Oh, and the name of this segment is Free Pussy, okay? Deion Sanders is a coach at Colorado, and it's a lot of young women around. College is a crazy place, and some college women, they ready to get down with the football coach, the basketball coach, the professor, the swim coach, the tennis coach, every coach on campus. When I was in college, it was this one girl that was in my class, and we were having a conversation, and she said, listen, I'm going to be making cookies for the professor. And I need your help. I said, what, you want me to come to your house? Because she lived near the campus. She said, no, we're going to go to his house. And I said, absolutely not. It be some of these young women's fantasy to get bussed down by the professor. I mean, imagine you got two college girls going to a professor's home who's twice their age on a Friday night and you just going to make cookies? Please. I wasn't built to do some shit like that. See, some women, they can lay down with the professor all weekend long and then sit in class like nothing ever happened. I just don't think it's smart to get into a habit of using your body for everything because guess what? At some point, you're going to need to use your brain. So question, you don't think these young, beautiful women are walking into Deion Sanders' office? Absolutely. The way black women and white women move in college is two totally different things. Black women are solely focused on education, and the white girls, they looking for their husband. Every time I would ask a white girl, hey, what's your major? The typical answer was, oh, I'm just here to find my husband. I'm looking for the guy from the richest family. That's why I'm here. I actually caught one white girl crying, and I was like, hey, what's going on? What happened? Turns out she was crying because she was 19 and unmarried. And I told her, you got time? And she said, no, I don't. By the end of the semester, she was engaged. These white girls work fast. They don't play no games. They don't play when it comes to money, and they don't play when it comes to marriage. White women feel the same way black women do about money. When you sit down with a white girl and really talk about relationships and money, she has the same feelings that you do. She's just not going to talk about it openly. They're not going to ask a guy, how much do you make? They're not going to do that. They just glance at a man's watch, shoes, and car, and then they make a decision. Anyways, Deion Sanders and Tracy Edmonds, did I say her name right? Okay. Tracy Edmonds, they're both 56 years old. Now let's be honest, Tracy Edmonds is not the average looking 56-year-old woman. She's a Hollywood 56-year-old woman. She looks good. But what if Deion Sanders wants another baby? Tracy was married before to Babyface and she has 2 sons. The baby factory is shut down forever. So hey, Deion has to go younger. According to Media Takeout, Deion already found a hot Latina to take Tracy's place. Now, do you see how fast men move on? Men know what they want and they go after it. Now, let's move it along to Ericka Kennedy. She was the best friend of Kimora Lee Simmons. She wrote Bling, and guess what? They still don't know how she passed away. And her book Bling is becoming popular again. I think I have that book, but I can't find it. I used to have a massive book collection, but I donated a lot of my books. I tried to buy the book on Amazon and it's not available, so who's buying up all the books? DIDDY or the YouTubers and the TikTokers? I found a quick summary of the book. Let's read it together. Eternal Playboy Lamont Jackson is larger than life, head of hip-hop label Triple Large Entertainment. And Mimi Jean, a 20-year-old with golden pipes, is his newest protege. So is that Diddy and Cassie? Mimi gets the makeover of her life in her rise to the top A vocal coach, a new wardrobe, and a boob job as Lamont grooms his star. Remember when they said Diddy had Cassie get a boob job and then he demanded them to be taken out immediately? Yeah, allegedly, of course. It doesn't take long until Lamont and sweet little Mimi are burning up the sheets. I totally remember this book cover. I have this book. I gotta find it. Ericka Kennedy started out her career working as a publicist with various top fashion designers, including Tommy Hilfiger and Sean Puffy Combs. She also worked as a special news correspondent for the New York Daily News before writing on fashion and entertainment for Vibe and InStyle magazine. Kennedy published 2 novels, Bling, the one you see on the screen, and Feminista in 2009. On June 13, 2012, Ericka Kennedy's body was found in her Miami Beach home. She was 42 years old, and the cause of her death is yet to be confirmed, still to this day. But the TikTokers, they're on a mission to find out what actually happened. What's my timestamp? 9:53? Okay, we're going to use the rest of the time to talk about P. Diddy. I got a lot to cram in, but we can do it. Go ahead and put Diddy on the screen, please. So a Michigan resident came forward. She said she was essayed by Diddy and his crew at the time she was 17 years old. And she has evidence. She has pictures of her sitting in his lap, and she has pictures of the studio. Did she save her panties as well? I'm not saying that to be a smartass. I'm actually being serious. What all did she save from that day that occurred? This is why parents be so damn strict with the kids. Moving on. She gave very graphic detail of the essay. She included that Sean Puffy Combs told her that he couldn't finish because she pinched his nipples. What was he suffering from? Erectile dysfunction? What's going on here? The victim claimed she was convinced to get on a private jet to New York City. So wait a minute, you got private jets swooping down in Detroit and taking this minor back to New York? Sounds like trafficking to me. Exhibit A, Your Honor. Like, what the hell is going on here? The victim also stated that once they touched down in New York City, she was essayed by numerous men and she could barely walk. It was so bad that they had to help her out the building, help her in the car, and get her back to the airport. The house of cards has fallen. Nobody can save Diddy. Nobody. We are going to be talking about Diddy well into next year, next spring, next summer, because so many people are going to come out and tell their stories. I think Diddy needs to get his affairs in order. I think he needs to make sure his kids' bank accounts are stacked because this isn't looking good, and he may spend some time in prison. If a bunch of women come forward and claim they were minors when he essayed them, then he's in trouble. The question is, who's the new Sean Puffy Combs today? Who's the man that's beating the hell out of 18, 19-year-olds right now? Or do we have to wait 10, 15 years to figure that out? Well, only time will tell. So you want to be a star? How badly do you want to be a star? That fame comes with a price. A lot of women being abused behind the scenes and they're keeping it on the low. But for how long? Well, we're on cruise control now. And I really wasn't going to do Puffy this week. I was going to give Puffy a break. But then here comes the woman from Michigan. And at the time she got essayed, she was in the 11th grade. That's insane. Diddy has done everything he's wanted to do in this life. And now it's time to pay the piper. I'm Star. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Good night.